You're listening to Living Podcariously, bringing you real men's perspectives, unfiltered, unapologetic, and uncensored. Recorded live in the Living Podcariously studio in world-famous Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Welcome to Living Podcariously. This is episode number, Andrea, I think we're up to 24 in this iteration.
Already?
Yep.
That's a lot.
We're there already. I am one of your hosts. My name's Adam. Sitting across from me on the Lady Chase.
I'm Andrea Joy.
And in studio we've got Tach.
Hey.
There's Tach.
You sounded a little different there, Tach.
Yeah, I got a little bit of a cold today.
I see your hair is no longer red either.
It's not. No, I've had a lot of stress this week.
Tach's no longer ginger anymore. He's I don't know what color, dark brown maybe.
No, you can say it's great, man. You can say
it's gray. It's gray in it.
It ain't salt and pepper. It's gray.
You got old fast this week.
I
She's gray
did,
all of a sudden, and you wear glasses now.
I do. Yeah.
I'm sporting the salt and pepper in the beard now.
Oh, yeah?
Andrea says, you should dye that now. I like my salt and pepper.
I never said that. I think that salt and pepper is distinguished. I like it.
Aw. Are we talking about the 90s band? Okay.
That's salt and pepper.
That's
a good point, Peppa. All right, no, just kidding. Who we have in studio with us this week is one of the additional hosts off of Taint Funny podcast, Mr. Jimmy Klein.
Hey.
How are you, Jimmy?
Pretty good. How about you?
Very well, man. No Tach tonight. He's... I kind of predicted this was going to happen, to be honest. Mm-hmm. He found a hot chick.
Exactly.
He fell in love, and then nobody gets to see Tach ever again.
He's off in La La Land.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happens. We won't dime out the girl yet until she wants to come in and say who she is. But no, I'm just kidding, Tach. I know you had other things you had to do.
We could Skype him in, but he's using it.
Yeah, he's on the.
He's
He'll
on
never
Skype right
answer.
I wonder. So last week, Andrea told Tach what he should try doing is doing a long distance game of Battleship.
Oh yeah.
As something you can do in a relationship when you run out of things to say on the phone.
Right.
I wonder if he's done that with her yet.
They should. It's a lot of fun.
Strip Battleship?
I can't think of any other game you can play. I tried to think. I did long distance for 2 years, Oklahoma and Florida.
It'd be so easy to cheat too.
You could cheat.
That's what'd be great about it. No, I was kidding.
Oh, this seat sucks to be able to turn people up.
But you can't play Clue or Life or
I can't do that.
Scrabble. You have to Skype Scrabble, I guess.
You could. I guess you could play Scrabble if you had like a webcam.
But you would
pointing
have
down
to
at the
find
board.
the letters and put their words
That's
on
true,
your
yeah.
board too.
Yeah, you're right.
So Battleship's the only one.
You could play chess maybe.
Hungry Hungry Hippos doesn't work.
I have a feeling he asks her to play chess every night. Oh, chess. My bad, Tach.
Yeah, I guess you could fit chess in there.
I think Tach probably gets really serious when he plays Battleship because he was in the Navy.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I mean, he probably gets like, this isn't a real submarine or whatever.
It's real intense.
Or every move he says, when I was in the Navy, we did this one time. Like when I was
and
in
this
band
one
camp.
time in the Navy,
Oh.
I sunk my battleship.
All right, so we got a pretty full show tonight. I want to talk a little bit about Taint Funny with you, Jimmy.
Okay.
And also maybe some of the other side projects you have going on if you're ever going to come up with your own show. I know we kind of talked about that in the past. Did you hear the show where we had Eric in studio?
I did, yeah.
Did you like it?
I liked it, yeah. That's funny.
I like Eric coming out of his... So I hear him on Taint Funny. I've listened to every show Taint Funny. I'm actually waiting for the next show to come out because I know you guys recorded it already.
Yeah, we have, yeah.
Tach hasn't released it yet.
Yeah, I don't know what his problem could be. He must be distracted. I don't know.
busy,
Yeah,
Playing
I don't know.
Battleship.
I don't believe he's
playing
working.
something.
But I'm waiting to hear that next show come out as well because I'm a Taint Funny fan. That's
Right on.
that's
And I've listened to
first and
every
foremost.
episode of this. I haven't yet listened to some of the archived episoers.
Yeah.
Those I missed, but I've listened to every iteration of this
Well,
one. Not iteration, but every episode of this one.
Eventually, what I might do is when our listener base goes up to so much, because we reference it quite often as some of the older podcasts that we've done, and like with Ron, our boy Ron, and some of the other stuff.
I've listened to some of them with Ron. I think I just didn't hear. I didn't listen to all of them.
No, yeah. What I
some
might
of
do
them.
is go through and handpick, bits and segments out of those shows and release them as extra content.
There you go.
Just for people who might be fans, because some of the people that have listened, and I say the word fans, I'm not pretentious. I think they're more listeners. I don't like saying fans, but I would like to release that for those people to listen to because, I mean, there's some really funny shit in there. Like the bit that Ron and Tach did with, that I made into like a little 30-second commercial spot for us, which was the Coming to America bit. Oh my God, that's still the funny. I listened to that just the other night. That is the funniest thing I think ever recorded in, our studios. That was a lot of fun. But anyway, you at one point had started talking about doing your own podcast, doing an MMA style, local MMA style podcast.
Yeah, I think, last time I had really sat down and discussed it, me and John were talking about it. John from Taint.
Yeah, he's a no-show. So Eric's been over to the studio twice. This is your second appearance. Tach's obviously here all the time, and John is a no-show. He's a repeat offender. He's a no-show again and again. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, he is though. He really promises he'll show and then doesn't.
He does. Yeah.
Is he real?
Yeah, he's real.
You're sure?
He's just about as real as your sister is, though.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe
I've heard about this infamous sister.
Yeah, she's been over here one time. I met her.
So you know she exists.
The family functions, like the 4th of July, those things where everybody gets together. She doesn't.
It would have been badass if she was here tonight with me here. That would have been so awesome. We should have planned that. Yeah.
Let's tell Tach she was here.
Yeah.
Oh,
be like, she was here all night. We ate dinner and played Battleship and.
She got really drunk, Tach, and jumped in the pool naked.
Yeah, you give her tequila, clothes fall off.
With the smitten kitten eyes that Tach has for somebody else right now, I doubt he would care.
I'll tell Tach I would show you the pictures, but you're dating somebody.
Nah, there we go.
Sorry, I wouldn't do that to her.
Yes. Oh, that's funny. I've seen some pictures of his new fling, too. She's cute.
Yeah, we used to work, me, Tach. Actually, everybody on Taint Funny used to work with her.
That's awesome.
So you know her.
Have you guys told her, though, she's dating below her standard? I mean, I love my boy Tach and all, but I mean, come on.
We've tried.
He's the prince.
Oh, Tach, you deserve every bit of this. You're not here tonight. It's just how it goes. And you're off today.
But we have a cardboard cutout of you, so you're
That's true. Yeah, I was wondering why the hell that was standing there.
Did you were the first person I think that texted me or messaged me on Facebook about last week's show. Mm-hmm. I learned a very valuable lesson last week on the show.
My grammar's poor?
No, I didn't even notice your grammar.
Oh, okay, cool.
No, Tach had to carry the show. Usually we bounce off each other the whole time, and Andrea adds in, all the additional commentary. Usually that's how it goes. Mm-hmm. But several times in the show, I just looked over and Tach said, "I'm sorry, man." I had to edit a lot of it out. I said, "Dude, I'm sorry. You just have to roll with it." Don't get 6 sheets to the wind in studio and then ask somebody else, try to do a coherent podcast. It just does not work. I love my alcohol. I usually can perform real well, but when you have a little bit too much, it's difficult to make sentences connect. So I don't know if the listeners could hear that or not, but yes, Adam was quite intoxicated last week. So Tach carried it.
You still sounded handsome.
2.5 hour show edited down to an hour. So oh well, hey, that's just how it goes. I guess.
You edited out the good stuff.
Yeah, that was definitely some funny stuff in there. So that was pretty difficult to edit and post. I don't know how much I've really said on the show, and how much but one of the former hosts of the show, her name's Scarlett.
Right, I've heard the name. Yeah, I've heard the reference.
I used to be married to her. You might have met her in studio. Did you come over to the old house and meet her?
I did, but the only people, it was just me, you, and Tach.
Okay,
it wasn't.
So Scarlett and I used to be married a long time ago, and she had kids from a prior marriage. However, I helped raise them for 10 years. I just went to the wedding of her oldest daughter this past weekend. Cool. Yeah, it was, dude, I call myself a manly man sometimes, but man, that was difficult.
I saw the picture you posted.
Oh, did you see
her hugging
my dad?
Yeah.
It was cool. My father. Yeah.
That's cool.
My father and mother have been grandparents to those kids, and one of them now lives in Kuwait, so that's a difficult enough issue.
Were they here for it?
No, she wasn't. Okay. The other two were, so the other two siblings of her were there. I mean, that's like my own kid getting married. And when she saw my folks there, because my folks came just for a little while, they're not real dancers or anything, so they showed up for the ceremony, then a little bit of the reception, not much, maybe a little bit of dinner, and then they bolted. But they wanted to give her a hug, and you know how weddings are. The bride and groom are so driven crazy by everything that's going on. They didn't really notice that my parents were there. So when my folks came up to give her a hug goodbye, she just lost it. She collapsed into his chest and just lost it. And I'm holding the fucking iPhone of my mom's the Galaxy. I'm like, all right, I'm trying my best to take these pictures, and I'm losing it at the same time because I see the emotion. Real man or not real man, I don't give a shit, man. When those things touch your heart like that, Your
That was
kids.
adorable.
I've been at weddings before, taking pictures for people I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. You're a photographer.
And it's the same thing. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I don't think the photographer job would be as much fun as being the stylist. Because you never get to see the bride and groom.
That's true.
But then as the hairstylist, I get to be with the bride all morning and all afternoon.
Well, plus you get to watch the wedding.
And then you get to go to the wedding. So
yeah.
after working all day and getting that individual time, you get to go enjoy the whole wedding.
Yeah,
See,
Andrea was the stylist for Kendall, which was my stepdaughter.
That's cool.
And her maid of honor.
And her maid of honor. And who else?
And his ex-wife.
Awkward.
And her best friend.
Yeah, that was a little awkward, but that's okay. It was all in good. I mean, it was a gift from Andrea to my ex-wife, but more specifically to Kendall, to the bride, to do their hair.
Because on-site weddings, it's $100 for each service when I have to go there, especially on a work day.
Yeah.
You know, and she wanted me to bring all the makeup from the salon, so I'm like, it's $100 per service. So
Yeah.
it would have probably been for all of that, probably about $800 or $900 for all that I did.
Have you dealt with any bridezillas?
No, actually, everyone I go to is awesome.
I came close one time, but she kept taking it out on the maid of honor. She wasn't taking it out on me at all.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah,
Your pictures were bad. She was taking it out on the maid of honor.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
No. She was. A couple of times I caught the maid of honor like off in the corner crying because the bride was that hard on her. Because she kind of took the title, maid of honor seriously, and the bride kind of felt like, this is my day.
You're my maid.
This is what you're here for. You need to make sure this happens. So she kept taking it out on the maid of honor a little bit, but she was nice to us. Like she pretty much told us, have at it, whatever pictures you guys want.
You
us to
took
do.
pictures at my ex-wife's wedding? No, I'm kidding.
I didn't tell you that.
Bridezilla.
Those are never fun, bridezillas.
We didn't do a whole lot of partying afterwards. We danced a little bit, but not really a whole lot of dancing.
He went two-step with me.
I'm not a two-step.
I was teaching you. It's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1.
Wait, how does it go again?
1, 2, 1.
Hang on.
1, 2, 1.
Really?
I danced with his ex-wife, though, so.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And Kendall and all the girls. I like dancing. It's fun.
I hate dancing. The only way I can dance is if a choreographer tells me what to do.
Well, do you like all the dances then like the wobble, the chicken dance?
Wobble, wobble.
The hokey pokey.
You hear those songs so much that
But you
it
already
just
know
gets
how
so
to
old
dance.
after a while.
The electric slide.
Yeah, I could probably do all those, but I've heard the song so many times and it's so old. Yeah.
That's how you get people dancing at a wedding, is you
That's
do
true.
that so everyone comes and does it, and then they just kind of stay there bouncing around. That's
I
all
will
dancing
say
is.
that like Latin American people, like they dance till like 1 a.m. Like
Well,
they just
yeah.
keep going. It's insane. I mean, even people that are like 70 years old, like just keep going. I don't know how they have that much energy.
Tequila.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does help. When we went on the cruise, Jeremy and I were there until they turned the lights on and made us get off the dance floor.
That's awesome.
Really? It's a cruise. You don't close. You stay open till the last person leaves that floor.
Or it goes in the port.
Yeah.
Did you guys do anything for you and your wife's wedding? Anything special themed or anything like that?
No, we got married in her church, but because we're in theater, like we knew a shit ton of people, so we had probably 100-something people there. I think the only thing we paid for was the food, and everybody else was like,
Nice.
"Hey, we'll offer this." Hey, well, because we knew so many people, so yeah,
That's
it worked
awesome.
out, yeah.
That's nice.
Andrea and I we've discussed it. If I ever propose and if she ever accepts my dumbass hand in marriage.
Are you going to do it right now?
No.
Aww.
I don't have a ring. I'm going to make
He
sure
gave
I
me
give
an
her
infinity
a good
bracelet
ring.
today, though.
There you go. There's no beginning to end.
It's a step. A little smaller, it'll be a ring.
We talked about what we're going to do if we do get married.
Right.
And typical ceremony, it's going to be between 5 and 10 minutes. Really short ceremony, so people don't have to sit out in either the hot sun or wherever the church is or whatever, wherever we go to get married. It's going to be real short.
30 seconds.
But the reception is something that we think we've got down pretty pat as far as what we want to do.
Right on.
We're going to hire a casino company that does those traveling casinos, like for banquets and charities and stuff like that, to do a casino night for all the guests, to include kids. So there'll be a separate section for the kids to do their own little casino. And any money that they buy for the chips, for the prizes, for whatever, goes to our honeymoon.
That's awesome, yeah.
So
that's a great idea.
I mean, that's what we enjoy doing. And really, it's about us if we decide to get married.
But we're
So
going to have raffle prizes, too. So, like, every $100 in chips you get a ticket. And then you put those in. So we're going to buy some prizes.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
people
yeah.
will have a raffle. So you're actually going to leave us something if you win.
Yeah. I got asked to do one wedding by a theater friend of mine. I had assumed photography, but he wanted me to sing at his wedding. And the wedding starts, and it's a whole medieval wedding. We had 2 rehearsals for this wedding. And the bride goes down the aisle with another guy that wasn't her husband or her fiance. And then the groom comes in and a sword fight breaks out because he's trying to win the honor to marry her.
Aww.
And so they had this whole medieval thing going, and there was a whole storyline that went through it, and they had jugglers and they had singing minstrels and all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, it was great. It was awesome.
That's
Singing minstrels.
You had to dress in costume.
That's
You had to dress in medieval
It's
costume in order
bloody.
to go.
A
Yeah.
little
be
bloody,
great.
doesn't it?
So I love
Yeah.
theater
Singing
too.
minstrel?
Theater's
Are they on
fun.
cycles?
Can you sing and do sword fights?
I can do
Can
a...
you win my hand in the casino?
My sword fight involves something in bed.
You're going to want it to be like Star Wars or something.
Hell yes. If I could do a theme movie style, it would be either that or maybe Princess Bride.
My ex-girlfriend just got married and she had a Star Wars theme.
Really?
Yeah, they did this one picture. It was overlooking this these hills and mountains and stuff in the background. And when she first posted, I thought it was a little kind of dull. I mean, as a photographer, I'm thinking I don't know if I would do that picture. Well, what I didn't know is she was having it edited. I guess her husband is an animator. So he animated all this Star Wars stuff in the background.
That's
stuff
awesome.
flying and everything. And they all had lightsabers in their hands and stuff. It's pretty neat.
That's
yeah.
really cool. They did the animations on, so I see it on Facebook of, the Death Star up in outer space and a couple fighter ships inside the, over the bay in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And then they've got the Millennium Falcon and then Star Trek Enterprise ship behind it, and it just owns the Millennium Falcon.
Right.
And then it turns its sights and heads up towards because that battle has always been, waved who would win in a fight, Star Trek or Star Wars. And
Well, you heard Neil deGrasse Tyson weighed in on that.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's a Star Trek fan in that scenario. Yeah, for sure.
He
Yeah.
basically said that the Enterprise would just, mop the floor with,
Do you listen to Star Talk with him?
No. I've watched this TV show.
There's an episode he just did a Star Talk with so he interviews people at random. Some of them are like the designer of the Kepler or the designer of what's the new one, the James Webb, or all these different types of things that have to do with space or even mathematics or whatever. It's all over the place. He even did an interview with Julian Assange or whatever his name is, the whatever. He just did an interview with Queen Latifah that blew my mind.
Really?
I never knew she had so much interest, and that interview sparked her interest in doing something for, and I'm going to fuck this up. I can't remember the acronym right now. I can't remember. I'll look it up later, but it's a organization that tries to focus to get young girls interested in science, mathematics, engineering, all those things. And it's an acronym that they assign to it. STEM. That's it. Yeah, that's it. So Queen Latifah now has, because she's always been supportive of anything with kids, but she's never really had something to really stand behind. And that interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson started her down this path of supporting STEM.
Yeah.
And what is that? That's students?
Science, technology, engineering, math.
Science, technology, yeah.
STEAM.
Yeah.
It's a STEAM academy.
STEAM?
The arts and mathematics.
Oh, this one's not arts though.
Okay.
This one's STEM for sure.
This is a STEAM school. So
Oh, really?
I guess it's STEM with the arts added into it.
Maybe it's STEM with arts.
Academy.
Yeah. But I was impressed. She actually had a lot of good information about that, and she
That's
even
cool.
made fun of herself with him by saying, "Yes, I'm a Pisces," and then she goes, "I understand it's not science." She made fun of herself. So
Has to do with planets. Kind of.
yeah, and stars and
right.
whatever.
Same thing.
All right, well, let's take a quick break in studio. When we come back, I want to talk about Pokemon in a minute. Not from the fact that I don't play.
What do you mean? You were playing right before we started.
allegedly. No, I don't play. But there's something that's really cool that somebody's recommended that I want to share with our listeners, because our listeners might play, and give them a recommendation to do something. So we will be back in just a few minutes.
You with a flash, too fly to be a stab. Front of me, I'm like bad. Your boyfriend riding in the whip 'cause I drive stick. Stunting is a
On behalf of Tach, Adam, and myself, The cast here at Living Podcariously is proud to announce we are partnering with Smoke Rings out of Merritt Square Mall in sunny Merritt Island, Florida.
That's right, Andrea. If you're looking for one of Central Florida's largest selection of oil, cigars, pipes, tobacco, and accessories for smoking and vaping, then Smoke Rings is the place to go.
Smoke Rings offers the latest products from oils to rigs. I bought my Kinger Subox from them, and it rocks.
By mentioning this ad, Smoke Rings is giving Living Podcariously listeners 10% off anything you purchase.
Also, check out smokeringsonline.com and click the e-cig link to learn some great facts about vaping.
At facebook.com/Smoke Rings Merritt Square, or give them a call at 321-453-1422.
All right, welcome back to Living Podcariously, and special guest in studio again is Jimmy Klein.
Hello.
With the Taint Funny podcast show. That Taint Funny has had a lot of guests on there that I like Ashley Blodgett and what's his name? Jay Alvarez.
Yeah, Jay Alvarez was cool.
Yeah, he's the one who got Tach into doing his stand up.
He did, yeah.
Granted, he's only done one stand up, but hey, that's okay.
I got it. Tach had balls, man. If it was me, I don't know if I would have went up, but it would have taken a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just jumped right up and jumped in, so I got to hand it to him. He was ballsy about it.
I saw your video. I held off on watching it. I liked it, but I held off on watching it until we talked about it in studio because I wanted to know what type of material Tach used. Right. And I wanted it to come. I wanted to hear the expressions and the reactions live. And after the show, I ended up going on to your video and streamed it and watched it. He did pretty good, man. I was really impressed.
Yeah.
So good on him. So Ray Burrito, if you know who he is.
I do,
yeah.
I'm just laughing at the name. I'm sorry. That's the only reason I was laughing.
And he's Latin. So, I mean, it kind of fits.
There you go.
Now he hit, so I'm hooked up with him on, well, that sounds wrong. I, befriended him on Facebook and have been talking to him a little bit. I listened to his interview with Jay Alvarez and, he's invited me to talk on his show. All he's ever had on his shows are comedians though.
Okay.
And I'm not a comedian. So I'm assuming it's going to be a podcasting type of show, but hey, whatever. We'll go on and have a good time with it. But
that's cool though.
He's the one who hosts a lot of those things down at Old School Pizza, I guess.
He does, yeah.
I guess he's like in charge of it or something. I don't know.
There were some comedians there that bombed. Like Tach was saying like the first guy, no disrespect if the guy listens, but he wasn't good.
Hey, that's what Tach said. You're not a real stand-up until you have a bomb. You have to.
I kept telling him all night, I hope you suck.
Yeah,
because according to Jay Alvarez, that's the only way you're a real comedian.
Yeah. So. You got to go up and bomb once. Exactly. Of course, if it's your first time and you bomb really bad, you're never going to get back up on stage. Right. That sets in those fears for the rest of your. I would assume for the rest of your stage performance.
But Jay did kind of pull him aside afterwards and kind of give him some even though he didn't hear it, he still gave him some tips based on what he heard other people saying. So
that's good.
Yeah,
that's really good.
He's a cool guy.
All right, so Andrea, I know has it on her phone. I do not. I will give you my phone and just don't look at the dick pics. I'll give you my phone and you can look to see if Pokemon Go is on here. It's not.
It will be soon, though, I'm sure.
Do you, Jimmy Klein, play Pokemon Go?
No, my wife plays it, but I don't.
That fucking
I'm too busy driving the car.
You made it sound like I play it.
Well, it's on your phone, not that you play it.
This is for my daughter.
Uh-huh. That app is taking over the damn world. I cannot get on Facebook for 5 minutes without seeing something Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
It's a little bit nuts. I'm thinking it's going to be like one of those other internet app fads that, is really super popular for, a good month or 2 months and then it just completely dies out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm predicting. It'd be funny to watch the company that owns Pokemon Go buy all these servers and all this virtual rack space somewhere and all this stuff for, 5 years or whatever they think it's going to take and then it die out and they have no subscribers or users.
There was a game that came out before all this called Ingress, Ingress. And it sort of kind of used the same technology in the sense that it uses the GPS. But it doesn't use the augmented reality through your camera. It doesn't do that. But okay. It'll have like, I can't remember the storyline behind it, but it has something to do with, these energy fountains that come out of public places. So it might be like the sign up here at the corner, and then you have to go up there and it's a series of, there's like two factions, positive and negative, and you have to join whichever one you want. And, people come over and try to take it over. And, it's a whole thing where you set up,
So it's like
something to defend it, and guys
virtual
try to
capture the flag or
pretty
something.
much, yeah, exactly, yeah. It's pretty neat though, but you have to be within proximity to do anything. And
The funniest thing Tach ever said was the group he was part of last week when his friend posted a picture in a strip club and said they found a Jigglypuff inside a strip club. That is the funniest thing I've ever heard. I didn't even know Jigglypuff was a real Pokemon.
I thought it was a made-up name.
Was that a metaphor for?
That's what I thought.
That he saw in the strip club.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It had a little picture of Jigglypuff, little pink Jigglypuff right on there.
I saw Jigglypuff in the strip. I hope so.
If you're the developer of this Pokemon game and you don't put a Jigglypuff in every strip club in the U.S., something's wrong with you, because that's the best thing you could possibly do.
I'm just glad that the game got the kids out of the house.
That's what we were talking about before. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
At least they're outside, walking around, getting sunshine.
Yeah.
Granted, yeah, that's a good point.
I did have to make sure and tell them to stay away from vans and people saying they had rare Pokemons inside of their cars or houses.
Yeah.
There are no rare ones in there.
Come over here, baby. You want a Pikachu? Is that even a real thing? Did I say that correctly?
I have no idea. I think
Pikachu,
I heard
yes.
my wife talk about Pikachu.
Ah, see, I know what I'm talking about over
the main
here.
one. That's like the main character.
That's why you don't play it in the bathroom.
Peekapoo.
This is my Pikachu.
So there was an article that I saw that I wanted to just share. So if any of our listeners, and I make fun of the game, but it's a pretty cool game. If any of our listeners do play, here's a little tip that actually is really, really cool. If you have, so there's something called lures. And I guess when you play the game, you can then collect enough stuff where you can plant something, a lure for another real life player to go and collect. So a GPS locates it.
Started doing that.
Yeah, and it's really cool. Mm-hmm. Well, this person put a post, and I'm not going to, call them out, but they put a post, and I saw it and read it, and I thought it was really cool. If you have lures that you want to drop, visit your local children's hospital and drop the lure in the children's hospital. The kids in the hospitals are playing, but they can't leave the hospital. They can go and walk the floors if they're able.
Yeah,
but if you drop the lure in there, those kids now have a new lure to go get inside their hospital, and they can collect whatever reward or animal or creature or whatever it is. So if you
I wonder if that's helped any of the kids who are supposed to get up and walk for physical therapy, if just having that game has helped them to have the adventure to get out of that bed.
That's a really good question. That's I would like to talk to April. So our friend April that goes to school up at University of Florida is in a behavioral sciences major, and she already works for one of those. She works mostly with children with autism and mental issues, and I wonder if those types of visual aids are something that she uses in her regimen of coaching a child. That would be cool. That'd be really cool to hear. Mm-hmm. But anyway, all right, off Pokemon Go. I'm over that. Let's talk about some real man things for a minute.
Okay, that sounds fun.
Real man, not those man things. Wait a minute, Andrea, not those kind of man things. Let's talk about manly things, like manly projects, man things to do in your garage or, in your workshop or whatever. I love so I don't always have a budget for it, but I love building something, having a project, an ongoing project in the garage.
I just suck at it. I like to do it, but I'm not very good at it.
I'm not very good. So the sound diffusers and dampeners you see in here in the studio all have a little bit of a lean and a wobble to them. That's because I'm the one that put them together.
Well, hey, she's putting her drink on it pretty easily.
Yeah, so it's not that bad. That one's made out of a drawer from
okay, sorry.
That doesn't count.
To say that. I'm trying to.
I appreciate that. I appreciate those man props right there. That's appreciate that. But no, so as a kid, a teenager, one of the projects that I used to do by myself, I mean, I had my buddies to help, but it wasn't like with my dad, was building subwoofer boxes for my cars.
Yeah.
And I'd probably build one a year, and I loved doing that. And the very first one I built, I was 15. My buddy was 16, so he had his car, and we had no power tools. We had one like hand saw. All right. So imagine that. And then we had to figure out how to cut out a circle for the subwoofer to fit in.
Wow.
So we drilled a hole and used a handheld, what is those things? Swiss Army knife with the serrated edge to use as our own handheld jigsaw. Probably took us 6 hours to cut one hole, like 12-inch subwoofer hole out of this MDF particle board. But we did it. We were devoted. Cool. It was the most crooked looking circle you've ever seen, but hey, we got it. We got our job accomplished. But yeah, do you have any man projects that you're working on right now? Any like manly things that you're doing?
Not really, no.
No? Nothing?
No, I got floors that I need to redo in my house. That's about. I've done wood flooring. That's
really?
A little manly, yeah.
I don't know if I could do wood flooring. I don't know if I have the patience or the...
I've always wanted a man who could build me a playhouse for the kids. I've ever been with.
For the kids, you have to clarify that.
Well, I want one of those too. But I wanted one outside, a tree house or a playhouse or something fun to play outside.
Well,
and no one could ever do it.
What if I build you, when our deck gets finished up top, what if I build you your little sitting nook area for like a table and stuff like that?
It's
You should put
Florida.
a slide.
It's hot.
I thought about that.
Put a slide coming down to the pool.
That would be more fun.
That'd be awesome.
It's too hot for a sitting area outside and too many mosquitoes.
Well, now, but about 6 months out of the year, it's perfect up
Then
there.
it's too cold.
We could put a chimney, a little fireplace thing up there. And
I can just get a Snuggie and an electric blanket and a portable heater.
there you go.
Snuggie. Those are awesome.
I want to build that. So I've got 2 projects that I'm going to start here soon. One of them is when they finish our little deck upstairs, I want to build a like sitting area with a little cover on it, like a tarp style cover, not like a blue tarp you put on your house, but like one of those. What do you guys have at the spa? The big pulled covers, like the canvas material that looks good.
Canvas material,
Like a gazebo kind of thing?
Yeah, kind of. No, these are. I don't even know how to explain.
Triangular. They're just
okay.
like
Yeah, it's geometric shaped canvas.
I've got one of those in my backyard.
Pulled really taut.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I have one in my backyard.
I want to build something like that and then build a little table to sit underneath it for like breakfast and, whatever. And then here in the back, near the pool, I want to build a, so I saw it online. It's the guy that made it used, pallet crates, the wooden pallet crates, sanded them down, painted them, affixed them together and made a rope bench. So you build your pedestals and then you tie these things up with rope and then you put cushions, like weatherproof cushions on them, and you've got an outdoor small little swinging bench for, guests or lounging or whatever. So I want to try both of those. I think what I'm going to end up with is a stack of wood in the back porch that I'm going to have to eventually throw away. But
probably. We can always have a bonfire with that.
there you go. Take Adam's man project and throw it away. And then I'm going to put in here, I'm going to put a dartboard up and a TV in the pool table room. And
that's cool.
A hot tub right in the middle of the studio.
Yeah, they sell these inflatable ones at Walmart. They're like $350.
Hot tubs?
I kind of want one. I'm not going to lie. They're really nice, yeah.
Inflatable hot tub?
Yeah.
Does it get hot?
Yeah, it has a heater on it, yeah.
Really?
It's got a pump, the heater, the whole thing, yeah.
They have a bathtub for that, or does it go outside?
I guess you can put it inside and outside, I don't know. But I know what you mean. They have the thing you put in the bathtub and it kind of makes into a hot tub, yeah.
We used to play with those when we were a kid. It lays down at the bottom and it blows up the water. So we would get a whole bunch of soap and close the curtain. And when you put soap in there with that, the soap would rise all the way to the ceiling. So you could like look for each other in the soap curtain.
And the best thing is if you fart and nobody knows.
It goes through the bubbles.
Yeah, and the bubbles like filter because you have little bubbles of fart. That's great.
I'm not a kid or anything, but that sounds pretty fun now.
Hell yeah,
I'd like to do that now.
It made the biggest mess in the bathroom though, because those bubbles do eventually come down.
When we first got married, I had run to the store and I came back and my wife, she kind of had a funny look on her face and I went in the kitchen and it was full of bubbles because she had cleaned something with Dawn dish liquid and didn't rinse it off and just put it in the dishwasher. And it started like foaming and it started pouring out. The whole kitchen was flooding. It was pretty funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess bubbles wouldn't make it that much messier. It would just make it
wetter
and sticky, maybe.
Yeah,
Clear.
wet and slippery.
Wait, what are we talking about? Hang on. Hold on now.
I'm talking about the bubble bath.
Oh, okay.
I was looking at stuff for the show just in case we needed anything.
Okay.
And I thought it would be interesting. It's a little morbid, but I thought it would be interesting. Accidents that have happened either while having sex or while doing sexual things.
Oh, yeah.
Might make me rethink that playhouse I want upstairs.
Yeah, it might make you rethink a lot of things. Like some of these are pretty bad. I think I have 9 of them, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, she prohibited me from bringing a cucumber in the bed. Just saying.
That is true. I said no way.
What would be funny is if she reacted to it the way cats do. I don't know if you saw that.
We tried
That is what I did pretty much. I was like, no!
We tried that with her cats, by the way, and they didn't give a shit.
I think it's because it wasn't there. And they turned around and all of a sudden it was. I think it's more like that. You could probably do it with a solo cup or something and probably do the same thing. I don't think it's necessarily that it's.
See, I thought to the cats, it might have looked like a instinctual reaction to a snake.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Like, oh, it's a snake or something that could be a snake. I'm afraid of this.
Or maybe the cats get molested.
Yeah, that's a good
Maybe.
point.
And then they just thought it was like a wiener.
We snuck up behind them. They were eating. We snuck and set it down real quietly, walked away and just sat there and waited. Sarah got up and kind of like kept going the opposite way so she couldn't see it.
Right.
And then Kitty turned around and just looked at it. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, it did nothing. Awesome. It was the most anticlimactic purchase of a cucumber ever.
How many cats do you have?
2.
2. I'm actually allergic to cats too. Andrea keeps them outside most of the time. Yeah.
We have a one-eyed cat.
Really?
And its name is Willie. Yeah.
One-Eye Willie?
Yeah, for real, yeah. And I got a three-legged cat as well.
Goonies. Goonies never die.
We had a one-eyed cat in the neighborhood. That's the one that got Kitty pregnant.
Ah, bounce.
I always said one-eyed cat was the dad.
Yeah, probably.
This was in Port St. John?
No. We adopted this one. They said they found it behind a bar with its mouth wired shut.
Oh.
And
wired shut?
Yeah, it escaped somehow. They said it was really, really skinny. Its ribs were showing and it had an eye infection. And so they had to, first they took the wire out.
Wait a minute, how did it wire? Was it like a veterinarian wired shut?
Yeah, they said it probably escaped from a veterinary office.
Ah, okay.
And so they took the wire out, and they tried to give it antibiotics for its eye, but it wouldn't get any better, so they had to take the eye out. Then they found out that it had feline AIDS as well. So he's got one eye, and he has feline. And you would think that he would be like the most skittish cat. Because everything he's gone through, but he's like the coolest guy. Well, it's AIDS you can only get it if you're a cat. So like, if my cat came up and like bit you and drew blood, you still wouldn't get it. You can't get it unless you're a cat.
I didn't know cats had a version of AIDS at all. I wouldn't imagine it would be contractable to humans anyway, but I couldn't. That's odd. That's really.
We have
odd.
other cats, and we asked the vet, what are the odds of the other cats getting it? And they said, well, we have all males, and we do that on purpose for that reason. But the way the vet worded it was, even if the cat was to vomit in the bowl and the other cats eat it, it still wouldn't get it.
Damn.
Like they have to bite each other and hold on long enough for the saliva to mix with the blood. That's the only way they can get it. So, and that doesn't really happen.
Do they love each other?
Yeah, they tolerate each
snuggle?
other. Yeah. We have one cat that's not fixed, and he just, like, he's a pain in the ass. He kind of chases him around and stuff. So.
Our little dog Ollie is about to lose his manhood here this week.
Nice.
He's going to go under the knife for, I hope to God they give him that big old cone neck thing to wear, because I think that's adorable for a dog to be
We had
walking
a
around
black
with.
pug, and it had to have one of those cone things. It was the funniest thing ever. It was so great.
Did you ever see the movie Up?
No.
The animated movie with the dogs?
No, I
well,
never
with
saw it,
the multiple animals. But the dogs in that movie, if you ever get the chance to watch it, because that is a great movie for adults and kids. Mm-hmm. That's where the term squirrel, like you're talking about, squirrel, we look away. Well, in that movie, they have a dog in there that has let me restart that. In that movie, they've got a punishment that dogs give to the other dogs. And that is, if you don't behave, you're going to get the cone of shame. And the cone of shame is the head cone that they have to wear when they have surgeries. And all the dogs like whimper. Oh, it's so funny, dude. That movie is really, really good.
Let's go. I'll have to watch it. I wish my kids have seen it.
Oh, we watched something you would be proud of us for watching.
What's that? Based
on your recommendation, we watched Ahh Zombies.
No, I'd already seen it.
Oh, you had already seen it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, she talked me into watching it.
What'd you think of it?
It was actually pretty entertaining.
Was it?
Yeah, it was entertaining. I could see a lot where, what's the term? I could see the B rating.
Exactly.
Let's put it that way. But that almost gave it a nostalgia feeling of, movies I used to watch a long time ago that were directed and produced similarly. It was entertaining. The ending was weird though.
It was
a peculiar ending. But no, I liked it. I thought it was.
Those are the kind of movies I love. Those kind of movies. Those movies that are so bad they're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the last Twisted 10 I did. That's what we talked about. Yeah.
Ahh Zombies, by the way, it was a movie about zombies that. So your stereotypical zombie comes at you and he's groaning. He's slow usually. He or she is slow and groaning and coming after you to fictitiously eat your brains. However, in this movie, they put a spin on it where you're in the eyes of the zombie and you're walking and talking normal and everyone else is just super, super, super fast. Exactly. So to you, they're kind of freaks and they're running around and doing stuff crazy and you can't keep up with them, but you have unusually strong, strength and can rip arms off and stuff. So they put a neat little twist on it. I liked it. I thought that was a good movie. Yeah. All right, so let's get to your your morbid sex.
Yeah, my morbid sex accidents. First one, 2009, a Chinese secretary was performing oral on her boss in his parked car.
Typical, that's what expected behaviors.
When a van took the opportunity to shift into reverse, and crash into their back bumper.
Oh, no.
The impact snapped the woman's jaw closed, severing her boss's penis.
Did she swallow?
Yeah. He jumped out screaming, which made things worse. The whole thing was witnessed by a private investigator who had been hired by the woman's husband to catch him cheating.
God.
Oh.
Was it the husband that hit the van?
Probably. It wouldn't surprise me, yeah.
Oh. Oh, that's just bad.
Isn't that awful?
Did they get it back on in time?
I don't know. They never said.
Oh.
That sucks. Get it? Sucks.
Oh.
That's cute. Right?
That bites.
I'm curious to know if she swallowed or,
Wouldn't it be fun if she did it on accident?
Yeah.
That'd be
Swallowed the
awful.
whole thing?
Yeah.
Then they'd have to do surgery on her to
Well,
get it
I mean,
out, or
let's-
would she have to pay?
That's what I call deep throating. But
let's be honest. It's Asian, so it's probably not much to
that's
swallow.
true, yeah.
But she was an
Little
Asian, so
bites.
she had a little throat.
Maybe.
All right, we'll go with that. Makes me sound less racist.
Okay, next one. A woman in Maryland was persuaded by her boyfriend to let him operate a machine consisting of a rubber dildo connected to the blade of a saber saw.
Oh, all right, so saber saw.
Yeah, a saber
so
saw
it's
is... Exactly, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So you've seen, well, I say you. I've seen these things online where
Yeah,
these sexual
Right.
machines hook up and, they're kind of crazy.
Right.
So, all right. Carry on. I like it so far.
He stuffed it in. Now, when they say, he basically just took a dildo and shoved it over the blade of a saber saw. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
He didn't rig it with some apparatus or something, take off the
No.
blade and rig it.
And what's funny is right now, a minute ago, I saw you writhing in pain. Now I'm kind of
Yes.
seeing her writhing in pain. It's just
Yeah.
kind of funny to see the two. But
Yep.
he stuffed it into her and then turned the saw on, only to have the blade cut right through the artificial penis
Sure.
and seriously damage her vagina.
Oh my God, she's
She
never
wa-
going to be the same again.
She was helicoptered to the hospital, but thankfully her injuries were not severe.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was facing up or facing down.
I don't know.
Oh my God.
That's awful, isn't it?
That's horrible.
Yeah.
She got a episiotomy.
And
Isn't that what
his
it's
male
called?
ego kicked in. He's just like, damn, listen to her scream.
Yeah,
Oh,
listen.
This was such a good idea.
Where was this at? Where?
In Maryland is all it said.
Man, it
Doesn't say the
was
city of
U.S.
Maryland,
U.S.
yeah.
person. Okay. Dodo. Holy
Yeah.
shit. I mean, at least take off the blade. Good
Yeah.
Lord.
At least turn it on and try it out so we would have seen that it cut it right up as soon as you turn it on.
Those dildos are made out of some pretty soft material, too.
They are,
That would
yeah.
cut through real quick.
I mean, yeah, why wouldn't you just file down the blade or something?
I wonder if they broke up
I don't know. You mean the vagina or their relationship?
the relationship.
It's a redneck couple. But
Yeah,
I
exactly,
love him
yeah.
so much. He's such a wonderful man. He beats me, but I love him.
Their mom grounded him after that. A British man wanted to experiment with a little butt play.
Jolly-o.
Yeah, in December of 2013. So he purchased a vibrating butt plug and inserted it. Unfortunately, he couldn't figure out how to get it out and was too embarrassed to confess his problem to his mother.
Usually those things have a handle or a little like ringlet or something.
I wouldn't know.
Oh, well. I mean, so I've
You
heard.
can't just forget about it and leave it in.
Especially if it's vibrating. Yeah.
He's trying to drink a soda.
Well, he was too embarrassed to say it to his mother, who he shared his house with.
Oh.
Which is even, yeah. So he spent the next 5 days lying on the couch as it buzzed inside his rectum.
Man, that's a pretty good battery.
Eventually, he couldn't hold it any longer and called an ambulance.
Whoa, stop. Didn't he shit in 5 days?
I have no idea.
He must not have.
No.
Oh, man.
Oh, it gets worse. Like I said, these stories are
All
dark.
right,
It gets
all right.
worse. But it was too late. The toy had perforated his bowel.
Oh.
Emergency surgery could not save him.
Well, he died from it?
Yep, he died from
That's
it.
a Darwin Award.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, man.
Never leave in your butt plug.
That is a pain in the ass. Sorry, I can't help but do the puns.
Did you hear what that asshole did to himself? Oh, God.
At no point his mom was like, "What is that buzzing? Will you answer your phone?" You know?
She didn't notice.
They have butt plugs now that are, so I've heard, that are Bluetooth enabled and you can control them with your cell phone. They even have women's vibrating panties that you can control the intensity with your cell phone.
That's
so you'd be
awesome.
sitting at dinner and I could push my little buttons and you
I
can
take your phone away.
and control it yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's a shitty thing that happened to that guy.
Yeah.
Get it shitty.
A man and woman met in a park in Spain. They hit it off and found a secluded area to have sex.
Okay.
Unfortunately for the woman, the spot they chose was the cover of an underground well.
Cover of an underground. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And their lovemaking dislodged it. She fell 30 feet down the shaft,
Oh my gosh.
while the guy took off, leaving her down there for an hour and a half until the firefighters rescued her.
Did he like call in an ambulance or something? Or
I imagine. I don't know.
he's like, fuck it, I'm out. That's a good way to get rid of a prostitute and not have to pay her.
Maybe they weren't together. Maybe he was cheating on her and he ran back to his wife.
Oh, I know this story already. They came out with a movie called The Ring about this, didn't they?
That's true. But that's a shitty cover, isn't it? I mean, isn't that why manhole covers are round so they don't fall in on the
Yeah,
hole? You
that's
know what I mean?
exactly
Like-
right. Of course, a lot of those older wells, like English wells, have it's a 2 half moons and split in the
Oh,
middle.
you're right,
So
yeah.
if it breaks in the middle, you can't. Andrew, that's a pretty good trivia question. See if you know this. Why are manhole covers round?
Why?
As opposed to square or anything like that.
There is.
So it doesn't break as easy?
No, it doesn't have any. You physically cannot put a manhole cover down the manhole. It will not go down the hole because it's round and slightly bigger than the hole itself, and there's a lip on it and everything. But you cannot put a manhole cover down the manhole.
Where you can't a square one?
Yeah, square
'cause
one
you
you can just
could
turn it
Turn it
and
around.
put it straight down in there. Yep.
Okay.
But
That's because it's the same distance all the way around.
Adam just learned if he's going to have sex with a hooker, do it on a well. Don't have to pay her. Oh, all right.
Okay. A Russian man in 2008 went to a doctor and had a prosthetic extension fitted onto the end of his penis to give his wife more pleasure in the bedroom.
That's chivalrous of him.
Why
That's
would she
a
ask
gentleman.
for that? What a bitch.
Well, what if he's like, really, really small?
He could be good at other things.
Well, he was Russian. He wasn't like Asian or anything.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
He's just
during-
overconfident. That's all. He's Russian.
Unfortunately, during a particular wild session, the prosthetic popped off the tip. The prosthetic popped off the tip, like I'm assuming of his penis,
Okay.
and got itself lodged in his wife's vagina. She was rushed to the hospital where they managed to get it out, but ended up filing divorce.
Aww.
Oh.
He has a little dick now. I no longer want him. I can't do
Poor
Russian
thing.
voices
He
very
shouldn't
well.
have been with her anyway if she had him do that.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up, isn't it?
Yeah,
I wonder if she knew about it. Like, wouldn't it have been a whole new twist if she didn't know and it popped
that
off?
would.
We talked about
That
synthetic.
probably would have freaked her out. She would have thought she totally broke his dick and it was just stuck inside of her. Why is there no blood?
What if he realized and she didn't? And then he had to somehow try to get it. That's like a whole comedy show. That's awesome.
or a post-coital. How was it? I'm not going to do Russian voices. So how was it, Sally? It was good. It feels like you're still in me. Well, hate to tell you,
You left a lasting impression.
I feel pregnant already. Did it sound like when it happened?
She didn't notice that he was noticeably shorter.
Are you standing in a hole? What's
Yeah,
going
right?
on?
Did it get cold all of a sudden? In 2011, a lady was indulging in some heavy petting with her boyfriend when he
Okay.
leaned into her neck and started giving her a serious hickey.
All right. I don't like hickeys too much, but I'm following you.
A day or so later, she was watching television when all of a sudden she couldn't move her left arm. Right?
What?
At the hospital, doctors were perplexed by the cause of the sudden paralysis until one of them noticed a bruise from the hickey was right over a major artery in her neck. The force of the love bite created a clot in her artery,
Oh my God.
which traveled to the woman's heart and gave her a stroke. She was treated with anticoagulants and recovered.
Holy shit. She recovered from the
Oh
stroke?
my gosh,
Holy
stroke
shit.
by hickey.
See, that's a lesson for you kids out there. No hickeys, you can kill your partner.
Exactly.
Or another thing to do to a hooker. I mean, that's... I see the line.
Yeah,
that
but
I'm-
that's too slow. You need something that'll happen now, like a well.
That's going
That's a
to
good
take
point.
a while.
Like a well
Yeah.
takes like a second?
And you can leave right
that's true.
then.
Well, 30 feet down. She won't hit terminal velocity.
Right.
Yeah, maybe a second and a half.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless
You
it's a
just-
big girl.
You just got to make sure she puts her purse down.
True.
what I mean?
That's true. Get all of her money.
Exactly, yeah.
Horrible.
Let me give you a hickey tonight.
Horrible. No.
Well, that was for Jimmy. That wasn't.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
you were looking at me. Or you just wanted me to watch
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Rocket Lunch tonight.
Segue for a later comment.
Boom. Okay, a man in England had a very particular fetish. That's like the second guy in England.
Yeah,
what the
that was
hell's up with
another one.
England? He liked to inflate condoms with massive amounts of nitrous oxide.
Okay.
And then put the gigantic rubber over his head.
All right.
Yeah. In 2007.
Wait, nitrous oxide is a laughing gas, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. That's what dentists use?
Yeah.
As well? Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
2007, his housemates found him deceased on his bed with a condom clinging to his face. He had used 3 cans of nitrous oxide to blow up a condom to an enormous size and then suffocated himself with the thing while he was pleasuring himself.
Autoerotica asphyxiation.
Exactly, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is a hell of a way to go. You got to have a partner there when you're doing some crazy shit like that. I mean, Jesus.
Well, now you know what the sperm feels like. Sorry.
That's like, that reminds me of the story of who was the actor that played in, do you remember the old movie or the old TV show called Kung Fu?
I do.
David Carradine.
David Carradine, yeah.
Do you know who David Carradine is, Andrea? Do you know the actor? Do you remember the show Kung Fu? You're our age or a little bit less, but
I know of it. I didn't watch it.
So it had on there a character played by David Carradine who was this, he was all about peace and serenity and calmness and being one with the world and the surroundings. And that's also how he lived his life. He was a, very tranquil master of his martial art and very calm. You could never rile him up. He was that kind of guy. So when they found him in his hotel room, I think it was in Thailand, when they found him in his hotel room dead, after the coroner's report came out, he died from autoerotic asphyxiation. He had himself suspended by belts upside down in his closet around his neck, his genitals, his legs, everything, while he was jerking off. So he was cutting the flow of oxygen and the blood flow to his body to reach another state of eroticism with himself.
Well, they say a side effect of it is an erection. So they said if I was to reach over and start choking you, you would get a hard on.
Weirdest boner ever.
Well, there was a guy from a rock band that died the same way. It was a drummer to a rock band. I can't remember what rock band it is off the top of my head. Yeah.
I get boners when I choke a bitch, but not when I get choked.
Right.
Is that
Is that why you do that all the time?
You got it. Yes. Yeah. I think it's the act of choking that gives the man the hard on, not the
maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I've never tried either. So.
Really weird. Be in a fight with some dude at a bar, getting your ass kicked, and he's choking you out. And instead of tapping out, you're rising up. And
I wonder if that ever happened to him. You know,
that'd be weird.
Like if he's in a fight and he gets in no pun intended, a rear naked choke.
Yeah.
And he just starts getting turned on.
That would make UFC way more interesting and funny to watch.
Yeah. Although that doesn't really choke you, but that's just a term. You're not really cutting off air when you do that. You're
put somebody in the
jugular and necrotic.
If you put somebody in the stereotypical choker hold, though, that's doing it.
Well, you're using the crook of your elbow, your forearm, and your bicep, and so you're cutting off the flow to the carotid and the jugular. So if you do it right, you're out in 3 seconds.
Couple of seconds, yeah. A show that another podcast that I listened to did that. And, the person that they did that to it was a girl, got knocked out so fast.
Yeah.
And then you might have heard of News Junkie out of Orlando.
I've heard of it. Yeah. I haven't listened to it. I've heard
they
of it.
have their radio show, then they also podcast all their shows. And, the chick on there, she did it and got choked out and she went goofy funny in the face for those few seconds. Yeah. It was crazy. She woke up, took her a good 20 seconds to realize her surroundings.
Yeah.
And she says she felt like she had just been asleep for 8 hours. For that little short amount of time she was out, she started snoring immediately. And that little short, she came back to coherency and then said, she's like, it really feels like I just woke up from a full night's sleep.
Wow.
So yeah, I've never been knocked out, but I imagine that would be what it would be like.
Interesting. I was unconscious one time in a skiing accident.
Oh, really?
I had have you ever gone snow ski?
Yeah.
Have you gone?
I'm not any good at it.
Well, so you know how heavy they are and everything. I was going down this hill and I was trying to avoid a kid that had fallen down. So I turned to my right, but I started losing my balance going down the hill. So I tried to catch myself with my right ski, but the ski popped off and it started twirling up in the air. So I hit the ground and the edge of the ski came down and hit me in the back of the head.
Oh shit.
And so when I woke up, I was laying in a pool of my own blood and there was a snowmobile there and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, did one of those big dogs with a jug of bourbon on his neck come up to save you?
No, I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah, that's what you see in the cartoons, right? The big mountain dogs.
But it was instantaneous.
Really?
It didn't feel like I was asleep, but it feels like I fell down, lifted my head up, and all of a sudden everything had changed.
So no time dilation.
So there were a ton of people all around and everything.
Yeah, well, there was the what do they call them? The biohazard team was there.
They were
And there
just
was
worried
2
about the blood
EMTs.
spill.
Yeah.
They didn't care about you.
Yeah.
They just wanted to make sure their skis were clean.
Well, then they carry you back up the mountain behind a snowmobile, so you have the exhaust right in your face when you're supposedly like just got knocked out. It wasn't very smart, but yeah.
Awesome.
Did that make you high? The exhaust?
Just about, yeah.
Woo!
Well, it's embarrassing. You get to the top and everybody is lined up at the top because nobody can ski. So everybody's lined at the top staring at you because you're the asshole that caused them to have to stop skiing. Yeah.
Yeah, but when they saw the blood, they're like, "Oh, this one's real."
Yeah.
Don't go that direction.
Yeah, avoid the big red spot in the snow.
No,
At least
they
I didn't
cleaned
wet
that
myself.
up before they took him up.
I've heard the yellow spot in the snow is to be avoided.
Luckily, I didn't pee myself. That would have
That's
been
good.
embarrassing too, or shit myself. Yeah.
Like ketchup and mustard out there.
Exactly, yeah.
Everyone's waiting on the top with their hot dogs.
Okay, next one. A British priest, again with Britain, was rushed to the hospital after a potato accidentally, quote unquote, became lodged in his rectum.
He sat on a potato?
Poor potato.
The clergyman in his 50s said he was hanging curtains naked when he accidentally fell back onto a kitchen table and landed smack on the offending potato.
Oh.
The man of God underwent delicate surgery to remove the spud, maintaining all along that it was an innocent accident, not a sexual experiment gone wrong.
Right.
Was the potato lubed up?
I don't know.
That would have told
That would
ya.
tell, though, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
but what if it was lubed up with butter?
Did he waste the potato?
Well, why would you
Did you
put
cook it
butter on
afterwards?
an uncooked potato?
You can peel it, right? I mean, why not?
Oh,
If it was an uncooked potato with butter on it, that's not going to happen.
well,
That's true, yeah.
your body's cooking at 98.6 degrees.
Right. It's at least
Eventually.
warm.
Yeah.
Guess that
Cook a
would work
potato.
after a week or
I think it
so.
depends on how long it was in his ass.
I don't think I'd ever eat anything that came out of a person's ass, though, so just going to throw that out there.
And why would you not use a cucumber? Why would you use a potato?
Maybe he was or a carrot or something,
Or a
right?
carrot. Yeah, well, that might hurt. It kind of pokes a little bit.
Or a vibrating
You
butt
use the
plug.
other side
A
of the
vibrating
carrot.
butt plug, yeah.
The
You just
other
can't
side
tell
of the
your
carrot
mom.
would be
Wait,
okay.
use the other side with the carrot with little frillies coming out of it?
Just cut
Ooh,
that
yeah.
side off.
Like a French tickler?
Oh,
It's
I was
nice and
thinking-
round if you just take it off. That's a rounded edge.
Really? You know about this?
Yes, of course I do.
Okay.
I cook. Duh.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You're going to put
in
a...
that thing called the kitchen, you know, over there. It's not just where we put beer.
So when Andrea first moved in with me, I told my son Josh, I said, Josh, look, this thing that usually keeps our beer cold is also used to store food. He's like, that's awesome. She moved in and our pantry was suddenly full. So now we've got food and cookies and...
That's cool.
Stuff to make Rice Krispie treats, which are his favorite.
Right on.
Oh shit, we still have that chili sitting on there.
It's on simmering. It's chili. It's good.
Okay.
When I met my wife, yeah, I can say this because she doesn't listen to the podcast. When we first got married,
She'll listen to this one though, right?
yeah. She only knew how to cook, I think ramen. And I think that was it. And
That's
she cooked it in the microwave and that's how she cooked it. And so when I first got married to her, she knew nothing and I had to teach her everything.
Oh, wow.
And now I'm pretty much not allowed in the kitchen. And she likes to cook all the time. She's all the time downloading recipes off of the internet and stuff. So
That's awesome.
Awesome. I love cooking. It's fun.
I love having
I
a
have
girl that
dinner
loves
parties.
to cook. Okay.
What's your
I always
favorite
wanted
thing?
to have dinner parties where everyone comes over and has dinner at different times.
What's your favorite thing to cook? Or what do you think you cook the best? We'll word it that way.
I don't know. Adam really likes my lasagna.
Yeah.
Do a good Italian chicken. Pot roast is really good.
Right on.
Tacos are really good. I use all different stuff.
That's
I always
cool.
make homemade refried beans every time we have refried beans.
That's cool. Right on.
And I love this Mediterranean chicken and couscous salad. That one's really good. I haven't made that for you yet. There's lots of things.
Do you have all the recipes up here? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Right on.
My recipes all include 2 types of ingredients. 1, either my cell phone to order it, or 2, the microwave to defreeze it,
There you go.
defrost it, whatever.
He puts frozen pizzas in the microwave. Like, you put those in the oven. Makes them better. They're not soggy.
They're not soggy when they come out of the microwave. They are perfectly good bachelor material. Just saying.
Good thing you have me now.
Agreed. Do you have any more of those?
Yeah, one more.
All right. Another man out of Britain shoved
Best-
something in his ass.
Well, you're close. Yeah, this is what I think is the best for last. 2 guys, not just one this time. 2 guys,
Oh,
and they may or may not be on a podcast. Just throwing that out.
All
there.
right.
I don't know. Decided it would be a good idea to pour concrete down a funnel and into their butts.
Why?
Like liquid concrete, not like the powder, right?
No liquid concrete.
Wait, are you saying they do a podcast? I'll cut this out. They do a podcast?
No, I was saying you and Tach.
Oh, me and Tach. Okay. I got the joke.
The concrete hardened inside the poor and extremely dumb guys and was rushed to the hospital after experiencing a lot of pain.
Yeah, no
my
shit.
gosh.
What did it?
Why?
Literally, no shit.
What did it form? I'm curious to see. Like when you pour lead, or what do they pour that molten aluminum down an anthill,
Exactly.
and it forms this beautiful tapestry of
Maybe that's what it is.
like vines or veins or whatever coming off. What does concrete in a man's butthole look like?
I don't know.
We got to ask Tach that. He would be the only one who would know the
He
answer.
would. Y'all have to ask him how it came out.
God, what idiots. I've heard of it. So you hear the stereotype about gay men using, and I know this is a stereotype, so for my gay listeners out there, I apologize. But you always hear the stereotype about gay men taking the fingernails and the teeth off of certain types of animals.
Gerbils.
Yeah, and using them.
I'm assuming it's a gerbil. I don't
Yeah.
know.
What is and I understand the drive with that might tickle or something, stimulate something, some nerve bundle or something. Who the hell knows? What is the motivation for concrete in the butthole? What would that do?
Maybe they wanted it to be rock hard. See what I did there?
Oh, yeah, we got some
Hell yeah.
puns.
I don't know. I bet no one would know that. Only the guys who did it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's something that anyone
I
thinks.
don't know if there's any like alcohol involved or.
There would have to be for
I would
me.
think so, right?
They were probably straight too.
Probably, yeah. Well, I heard if you put a funnel in your butt and you pour beer in your butt, that you get more drunk
Yeah,
than if you
maybe
drink
they're
it.
wrong.
Wait, one of
Maybe
the-
they didn't know it was concrete.
So this list that you created was similar to the Twisted 10 that we
Correct.
have hosted, that
Yeah.
Tach and I have done in the past. One of the Twisted 10 that I had last week was Darwin, the Top 10 Darwin Awards. And one of the guys on there, not to spoil that for anybody who hasn't heard it, but one of the guys on there died from doing that enema, giving himself an enema of 3 liters of vodka.
Oh my god.
Well, there's
Yeah.
so many capillaries in your butt,
Yeah.
it absorbs the alcohol so fast, his body went into some sort of alcoholic seizure.
Yeah.
And when they got him to the hospital, he'd already been dead for like 10 minutes because the alcohol hits your system so
Yeah.
fast.
Well, they say that your digestive tract is so inefficient at digesting, and your butt is just like way, way, way more efficient. So
Really?
yeah. They say like one beer in your butt is equivalent, I think, to like 5 or 6 when you drink it. Yeah.
Oh,
Jeez.
shit. Maybe we start doing that. Cheaper dates.
No, I'll stick to the ladies' nights.
All right. Free alcohol there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's take one more break. And when we come back, we're going to hear from Andrea. She's got the diary for us as well as a question to ask us.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
All right. So, Jimmy, you've listened to Living Podcariously, so you know how the diary. Wait a minute. You named the diary. You're the one who came up with the name of the diary.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of know how this whole thing works.
Right.
All right. So Andrea's got her diary questions lined up for us from our emailers. By the way, if you want to contribute to the show, email show@livingpodcariously.com and just put a title on there of diary or questions for Andrea or whatever you want to put on there, and she will ask us. Peering into the inner thoughts and expressions of men. Women submit questions for Adam and Tach to get brutal, honest admissions. We call this the diary. Diary? Really? Is that the best we could come up with?
All right, guys. The first question is from Megan in Florida. Does guy code change as you get older? If so, what are those changes?
Guy code. Does guy code change?
I don't think so. I think 2 guys that don't know each other know the guy code.
There is certain bravado between men when certain situations arise. Of course, I don't know. Guy code when you're in like high school and maybe early college or something would change from, I think, adult being adults, maybe, just because you have different circumstances that would present themselves. Like, I'm trying to think of something that's guy code related that's
Don't
not a
sleep
guy
with your
cheating on another guy.
ex-girl. Oh,
Yeah,
cheating.
exactly. Okay, how about when when you're checking out a girl and another guy notices you checking out another girl.
Right.
There's, no, even better. Let me restart this. When you're checking out a girl and another stranger across the way that doesn't have anything to do with that girl notices you're checking them out, and then you guys catch eyes with each other.
Right.
There's a little nod, a little acceptance of the nice figure that presents itself in front of you. So yeah, there's,
and you can communicate with another guy without even knowing him.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, you can just look at him and just go like that, and they know exactly what you're trying to tell them, and they'll turn around and look.
Like, hold on, like,
yeah,
check that out. Yeah. Oh yeah.
What is going on behind our backs?
Oh,
But
yeah, you'd be
there-
surprised, yeah.
Does it change with age? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, as you get older, your sight isn't as good, so you got to like tell your old buddy, "Hey, there's a nice looking girl over there. You put on your bifocals there, Henry." Or
You wouldn't be able to hear.
Yeah, that's a good point. Turn up your hearing aid. There's a good looking girl in the room.
I bet they still look at each other because they aren't able to hear. So
That's
even better.
Yeah.
I've noticed with older men, that came off way different than I expected
Nice.
it to. Old guys completely have lost their brain to mouth filter. So as you get older, you care less about what other people think about you and about your actions. So some old men would just look at it and go, "God damn, look at that good looking piece of ass." Whereas a younger guy would not even say a word, not to want to upset somebody else. Old guys don't have that filter.
Mm-hmm.
I think the guys change, but the code does not.
I guess that's a really good way to put it. Yeah. All right. Next question.
Number 2 is from Audrey in Ohio. What is your favorite kind of shoe that women wear?
Favorite kind of shoe?
I don't really look at shoes like that.
Tach would have a whole speech on
He
this.
would, yeah.
Well, let's ask Tach. Tach? What would Tach say?
I like
He would probably say heels.
He's like, they have to be Prada. Tach would say they have to be
exactly.
Prada.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what Prada is. Prada a
Can't be
shoe?
that Payless
It's
crap.
a brand.
Prada is it? Okay. I didn't know if that was a shoe or a purse.
It's both.
Is it? See?
There are Prada purses, there are Prada shoes. That's the brand. That's the name.
All right. You know what? To be honest, I think I would rather see a girl in flip flops or sandals or something relaxed.
Chuck Taylors.
Some old school Chucks.
Exactly,
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I'd rather see a girl in something relaxed. I understand there's an occasion for every type of shoe for a girl, but seeing a girl in something that's relaxed immediately puts me in, more of a relaxed state. Now, unless she's got some toes that look like mine. If she's got toes that are sporting, ugly toes like mine, I don't want to see them.
Aww,
keep them hidden.
Girl.
Plus, it seems like the nicer the shoe, the more uncomfortable it is.
A lot of times you do just have sitting down shoes.
I had to wear heels in a show that I did. It was a murder mystery, and I played a girl. And they were horrible. They were awful. Like, first of all, I couldn't put any weight on my heels because the heel would start sinking into the stage because it was such a small, you know what I mean? It was like a stiletto.
On this week in Living Podcariously, Jimmy admits he wears women's high heels. I like it.
But they were horribly
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
you have to tiptoe the whole
You
time.
do, yeah. It's awful. That's why girls have such nice calves.
And Tach's got nice calves too.
There you go.
It's from tiptoeing
Yep.
in his heels.
All right, next question.
Okay, this one's from Olivia in Orlando. Do you worry about what girls think of your hair, skin, weight, and clothes?
I don't because I'm married.
Do you worry about what your wife thinks? of
My
your
wife
hair,
tells
skin,
me
weight?
exactly what she thinks.
So you must worry about it.
Well, I think yes and no. I think, and I can't speak for you, but I think a lot of guys are more self-conscious when a girl doesn't tell them what they think than wondering themselves what she thinks. You know what I mean? Like, it's because girls are usually good about just saying what you guys think. I like that shirt or whatever. It's when girls don't say anything that I think it kind of makes a lot of guys nervous.
I don't think. State the question the way that the emailer came in, sent it in, if you don't mind.
What do you worry about? Wait.
Do you worry?
Do you worry about what girls think of your hair, skin, weight?
Okay.
and
So our
clothes?
outward appearance. I've never in my life that I can remember ever been worried about a girl's perception of my appearance. Maybe when I was in high school or something like that, but I've never been worried about it. Now, I want to be attractive to the girl that I'm interested in, either be it my girlfriend or my wife or strangers at a bar, whatever that occasion is. I want to be considered attractive, but I don't think I've ever worried about it. So it's never been a stressful situation for me. No, I've wanted to
Even
lose.
like a first date, like when you're like getting ready to go meet him for the first time.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I'll pick out the clothes that I think make me look the best, but it's never been a worry. I've never worried about any of those things. It's never been a stressful situation for me.
Okay.
I used to have a mullet pretty bad. And
Party in the front,
Yeah.
business in the
Business in the
front,
front.
party in the back.
and I'm wearing a shirt that says dork, so I think that answers my question. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really
It
think,
depends on where you lived when you had the mullet. Was it in Mims?
No, it was in Florida. I went to Rockledge High, yeah.
It was close to Mims.
Yeah.
Rock Ridge.
Heck yeah. Everybody had mullets back then. It's great. Tach had a mullet.
Did you know, speaking of long hair, did you know that in the NFL, if a player who has long dreads or long hair coming out the back of their helmet, that is, it's legal to yank their hair when you're tackling them?
Really? That's awesome.
Yes, it's considered part of the uniform. If it protrudes past the helmet, it's considered part of the uniform and is legal to pull on yank somebody. So if you're getting tackled and somebody just rips, pulls on your big long dreads or your mullet or whatever you got back there, it is a legal form of tackle. Wow. Unbelievable. Now you can't hold them. That's considered holding. Yeah. Like if he's trying to run away from you, you can't hold him by his mullet, but you can tackle him that way.
Interesting. That's cool.
Had to get rid of the mullets. That way people won't want them because you couldn't tackle them.
Exactly.
I would purposely get a weave just to get out of tackles.
Okay, number 4 is Rhonda and Cocoa Beach.
Rhonda, Cocoa Beach.
What do you think of PMS?
What do we think of it?
It varies from girl to girl, I think. So there's obviously a chemical change that happens in a girl's body pre the cycle. Her body is preparing itself to do its thing, and that creates a chemical, I wouldn't say imbalance, but a chemical change in a female's body. Some
Hormonal change?
Exactly. Some women have zero effect, none, that I've been with in the past. Some women are off the deep end, emotional, dramatic, hysterical sometimes. And then also, it's sometimes very painful for a girl. I guess PMS wouldn't be you. I guess that would be the actual menstrual cycle.
I can't remember what it's called, but there's a condition that girls will get sometimes where it does make it extremely painful.
Really?
But I can't remember what it's called at the moment, but yeah. I mean, in extreme cases, it can affect you having children. But
wow.
I can't remember what the condition's called.
Okay. So yeah, I think it varies from girl to girl. It depends on the girl.
I mean, I think, I'm understanding as long as the girl doesn't use it as an excuse to kind of treat a guy like crap. Which I think some girls do that. They use that as, sorry, PMS thing.
Tach told us a story about some of his family members that have done that in the past too.
Really? Yeah.
I think if they were actually PMSing, they would not say, sorry, I'm PMSing. They would just be like,
Yeah, exactly.
there would be no coherent words. And they wouldn't use those words either because they would never admit to that.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
That's a good point.
So there's how you know if it's real or not.
If she says PMS, then it's fake.
If she says you better not say PMS, you know it's real.
Nice.
It's the wrong time to use those words. Do not tell a girl she is PMSing. Just don't do it. If you think they are, just keep your mouth shut. If you do, Satan will come out twice as bad.
It's like my wife is pregnant right now, and that brings on a whole.
There you go.
You think PMS is bad with hormones? Oh
do
my
not
god!
say, "Is it your pregnancy hormones, honey?" Oh my god, I would kill you.
Every other Friday I have off, and my wife doesn't. So she got off work, and she had asked me, "Well, are you hungry? Because I am. I'd like to get something to eat." And I said, "Well, me and the kids just ate. I'm not really hungry." She got upset. And so she gets home and she's like, well, I'm really hungry. I said, well, then we can all go. I just don't be surprised if we don't get anything to eat. So as we're driving, she starts that typical line of questions. So what do you want to eat?
Uh-oh.
And so I'm like, I don't really care because me and the kids ain't hungry. She started crying.
Aww.
So then we pulled into the parking lot of Jason's Deli, and there was like 2 Greyhound buses and the whole parking lot was packed.
Oh, God.
She started crying. And then we ended up going to Long Doggers.
Good choice.
I ended up getting some kind of fish or something because there wasn't very much on the plate. And then she started crying because I ate when I said I wasn't hungry.
Aw.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
And that's unusual for her behavior, right? That's out of the norm.
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I've only been through a pregnancy with one woman that I admit to, and there were some pretty severe hormonal swings during that, and. Most of it's excusable. It is. It's just what happens. It's nature.
Yeah. I'll get home from work sometimes, and the next morning my kids will be like, Yeah, I had to cuddle with mommy last night.
Dad, it's your turn. You need to take over. Who's on mommy watch today?
Exactly, yeah.
That's adorable. All right, moving on. Number 6 is from Lexi in North Carolina. How do you know you found the right girl? How do you know for sure she's not, or she's the wrong girl?
The wrong is so much easier to answer here. She does things that it just don't meld with your lifestyle or the way you want to live your life. I mean, it could be anything from in the bedroom, it could be sexual, to every day how you run your house and your life, to controlling, to lack of interest or lack of care. There's 1,000 different things that could tell you she's not the right one. But it's harder to say on the yes, she is the right one kind of question. I know it sounds cliche and stupid, but when you know, you know. I mean, everything clicks and you just know. Like
when I met my wife, we were in a show and I had just got done. I had broken up with a girl that I was dating for about a year. And I really didn't want to date anybody. You know, you both, I'm sure, have been in that where you really don't want to date anybody.
Oh yeah.
And, well, Megan was my dance partner in the show. And so we started hanging out a little bit outside of work with some mutual friends and stuff. And I found that she was just interesting to talk to. So I started hanging out with just her, not really a date, just hanging out. And then now we're married with kids, you know, and it's one of those things. If you would have asked us, you think you'd get married? It's like, duh, you know what I mean? It's just, you just know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, it's cliche, but you just kind of know.
Yeah. It's goofy it's hard to put into words when you know the woman that you're with is going to be the woman you're going to marry. It's hard to put into words.
And like, it's, you know, marriage takes work, obviously, but the work is more about the lifestyles, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And compromise as far as what you want versus she wants. It shouldn't be work just to get along.
Who was the singer? Who was the singer that sang Opposites Attract?
Paula Abdul.
Paula Abdul is a stupid singer, all right? Opposites do not attract in relationships. They repel each other. If you're opposite of the woman you want to be with, if you guys have opposite interests, that does not work.
Maybe she was singing to Bill Nye.
That was
Opposites
about a
attract
cartoon cat, okay?
Thanks, Josh.
That's true, yeah.
Josh took the toy away from Kuma. Kuma found Oliver's little duck. Okay. Sorry, sweetie.
Did we finish that one?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh, and then how do you not know? How do you know it's not the right person?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would just say because it's too much work. I mean, just to get along. You know what I'm saying? Like, the work should be put towards adjusting lifestyles, not to just, like, not argue. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, agreed.
All right. Good answer, guys. Got a lot of, but no, seriously.
Half of the
Got a lot
time,
of
Jimmy,
time.
I think these questions are really for me.
Yeah,
really
I've
think
kind of
that,
got that feeling too.
Yeah.
Like, there's times I'm at work listening to it going, don't answer, dude. Don't answer. Oh, damn it, you just answered,
you
man.
were straight up doing General Akbar. It's a trap.
No. Okay. I already know I'm the right one. I don't need to ask.
But the right one for who? Is
No,
the
she means
question.
in arguments. Like, she's the right one.
No, he's the boss. Yes, sir. Whatever you say, Adam.
She has me fooled to think that I'm actually in control.
Did you need a sandwich?
That's the smartest
Should I
thing
go
in the
make
world.
you a sandwich real fast?
Sure.
So I
Why do you do
got a question. Like, let's say you guys are getting ready to go to sleep and she says she's cold. Who gets up and adjusts the air?
Nobody does. I get her a blanket.
You get her a blanket.
Yeah, I'd get her a blanket. I won't.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he knows I'm going to roll up in a burrito in that blanket and he's going to be freezing.
My air conditioner is very sacred to me.
Right.
I like my house to be cold. It's 70
Yeah.
and 71.
Oh, yeah. Me and Tach are the same way.
I like it that way. If I have a guest that comes over that is cold, I will get them something to wear or a blanket or something. I want my house a certain temperature.
When I
That's just
heard
how like it.
I heard a stand-up comedian talking about this, though. He said he was laying in bed with his wife, and his wife's like, I'm kind of cold. And he gets up and takes 5 steps, and he's like, I'm not cold. Like, why am I getting up? Like, so yeah, you kind of fell into that.
For the most
I get her up
part-
and get her a blanket.
For the most part,
You get her a
chivalry
blanket.
is dead. Yes, but not always.
I'm teasing, of course.
All right. Next question.
Okay. This one's from Rachel in Alabama. What bothers you about girls' insecurities?
That they exist? Is that an answer?
That's your answer.
Like what insecurities bother me? Is that how you think she's asking this?
Yeah, what bothers you about girls' insecurities?
Okay.
What bothers you that they're insecure about?
No, I think I have a good way to answer this. So I've been with a woman in the past, and it wasn't the most recent one, it's whatever.
It's probably
that
me.
Prohibited, no, it has nothing to do with you. That prohibited certain things from happening with my son because she was insecure about the way she looked. So for example, if we wanted to take Josh to the beach and go have a good time out at the beach and have him play in the sand and the waves and stuff like that, it would be halted because she was insecure about the way she looked in bikini or even in any kind of bathing suit, or didn't want to sit in the sun with whatever. She didn't want to be seen at the beach because of she was insecure. She didn't have any reason to be, but she was. So insecurities, in my opinion, that get in the way with in experiencing life in general are a problem. Now, insecurities about other things that are small or insignificant, sure, it might be annoying at times or frustrating, but it's understandable. But as long as it doesn't interfere with you living your life, then it's, that's the only line that I draw in the sand.
Well, yeah, it's kind of the same thing. It's when they project the insecurity onto you. You mean like, oh, I don't want you looking at my butt because I don't like it. Well, no offense, you don't look at your butt. Like it's behind you. So.
Well, I mean, some women can look at their own butt. That's pretty
That's
big.
true.
Just
I
look
saw a
over
girl
their
on
shoulder.
America's Got Talent that can do that.
There's plenty of selfies of girls doing that.
The contortionist?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she can look at her own butt. Yeah.
They can do some other things too. You ever dated a contortionist?
No.
Let me just tell
Have you?
What? No? What?
Huh?
I didn't Mike's going, but.
I dated a ventriloquist.
Yes, I have. I've dated a contortionist. She wasn't like a contortionist that danced in like anything important, but she was a
Just
contortionist.
in the bedroom.
Yes, only in the places that it counted. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Interesting.
It's quiet.
Next question.
Y'all
I
done?
guess.
Yeah.
All right. This one's from. I already did that one. Oh, it's the last one. Number 8. Let's see. Do you like attention from your girl at social gatherings, holding your arm, walking beside you, or is it better to keep your personal space? From Michelle in Ohio.
Ooh, this is about PDA.
It is, yeah.
Ooh, good question. Yes, I personally like PDA, but there's a place and time. So if you're at a funeral, don't be all mushy. You know what I mean?
No making out at a funeral?
Yeah, there's a place and time. So if it's socially acceptable, even pushing the limits of social acceptability is cool to me. So if you're in a place that you wouldn't normally see somebody making out or getting more kissy than they should, that's even okay. But if it's disrespectful, then that is where that line is drawn. But
Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love any kind of public affection. Yes, I think it's awesome.
See, for me, it's slightly different. Like, an example would be like, let's say me and you, let's say,
Are we
every
going to
time
kiss?
I see it,
Is that me? Are we going to kiss? Is this where our...
we could.
Okay.
I'm throwing it out there.
Okay.
Let's say every time we see each other, I just kind of wave to you. Yet I see you in the mall with your friends, and all of a sudden I come up and want to give you a high five. On some level, you're going to be like, "The fuck is he giving me a high?" He never gives me a high five. And so for me, it's kind of the same thing. Like if a girl all of a sudden wants, public display of affection because I'm around my friends, that would irritate me. It's like
Yeah.
you never act like
Okay.
that any other time. Why are you acting like that right now?
All right. I see it.
Yeah.
I'm just all over you all the time. So
Well, that's what I mean. Like if she's acting the same way she does when you're two at home alone, then that's awesome. But if it's like phony because your friends are around, that's not cool.
Oh, that's a good reverse Guyry question. So each week we're going to start doing a reverse Guyry
Yeah,
question.
I heard that last week. Yeah.
To where we flip one of the questions back on Andrea, so she has to answer it. So let's take that question and rephrase it back to you.
I'm out with my girlfriend.
No. Do you, as a girl or your girlfriends, hype up the PDA depending on the audience that would be able to see it with your guy?
I personally don't. I don't really think any of my friends do. I mean, like, Kiana, she's going to fight with anyone or not fight with anyone wherever she is.
I wouldn't call that public displays of affection. I'd call that public displays of argument. I don't even know, bitchiness. I mean, I don't know how to
from the way
describe her.
that they talk about how they are with their husbands or boyfriends, it's about the same as I see them when we're all together. I don't see anyone getting extra mushy or anything. Now, I will say that, like, I've been in gatherings where I see a couple and they look like they're just on a date, usually an older man, a younger girl, and she looks to be just kind of all over him.
Well, that's because he's paying her to be there.
I was thinking that, but that's like the only time I've seen anyone being like overly PDA, overly.
So let's say, let me give you a scenario. Let's say we're out at dinner.
Okay.
All right, you and I, just me and you, personal date, just the two of us.
Just the two of us?
Yeah,
No
I know that
kids?
doesn't happen.
Wow.
And at the
exciting.
table next to us is an ex-girlfriend of mine on a date with a
Oh,
new
good.
guy.
That's typical. This happens all the time. What are you talking about?
Or an ex-boyfriend of hers.
Oh, or an
Together with
ex-boyfriend.
your ex-girlfriend?
Oh, that'd be weird, wouldn't
That'd
it?
be so funny.
Would you ramp up the PDA with me?
No,
to
absolutely
show?
not.
No?
No.
Okay. All right. I believe your answer. I believe it.
I would be just the same as I always am.
All right.
Do you think it's weird that like the person I was telling you guys about earlier that I dated for about a year before I met Megan? Do you think it's weird that her and Megan are really good friends? Me and her are as
I don't
well.
think it's weird.
We're actually really close friends. Yeah.
I don't think it's weird. That gives us some great scenarios for threesomes. Just kidding. No, I don't think it's weird at all. I find it perfectly. I mean, that's almost like Andrea doing hair and makeup and all that stuff for my ex-wife and her daughter. I mean,
I would say if your ex was around, if anything, I would be doing less PDA. Because I would feel more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oh,
you wouldn't want to hurt her feelings or anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I wouldn't want anything to be weird. So I'd try to hold their hand a little less and kiss them a little less, or at least when you're kind of off away a little bit, not in front of everyone.
That makes sense.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for the reverse Kyrie question this week.
You're welcome. And I did have one more. I accidentally skipped it. It was Nancy in Florida. Do you hate it when girls eat off your plate?
I hate when anybody eats off my plate. Yeah.
Jimmy, how many times have you driven through the drive-thru at McDonald's? Honey, do you want any fries? No, I don't want fries.
Yep.
And then when you get your fries, you got your medium fries because you know you don't want to eat one of those Big E size, whatever they are.
Exactly, yeah.
So you got your medium, sensible amount of fries.
Right,
and by the time you get home, the girl has eaten half of them out of your medium container of fries. And now you don't have very many fries
Why would you order medium?
Because I want to eat a medium container of fries.
Just get the large one, and then by the time you get home, it'll be medium.
Well, but see, that's the trick, isn't it? If you wanted fries, I'm not saying this happens with you, but if you wanted to eat fries as the proverbial girlfriend in this situation, let's order you some fries.
But I don't want fries until I see the fries and smell the fries, and then I want the fries.
The guys have learned that, and we've ordered extra fries now from now on. We understand how this works.
But if you order the extra fries and the girl hears you, she's going to be like, but I didn't want extra fries.
You wasted
I don't
money.
Want any.
Yeah, you wasted money. Does this mean she's PMSing when she gets that upset?
Don't
or
say
she'll,
that. Well,
she'll turn it around on you. She'll turn around and be like, oh, so you just automatically think I want fries.
Guys never win.
What are you trying to say? That I just eat fries all the time?
You think I'm fat? Are you saying I'm fat right now?
What just happened here? I'm confused.
And I learned a valuable lesson unrelated. I'm never again going to compliment a girl like if she lost weight. Because I made the mistake at work going up to a girl, and she did lose weight, honestly. And I said, wow, you look really good. You look like you lost weight. Well, how big was I? Like, I'm just saying.
I think most girls, though, would appreciate hearing
That's what
that,
I would think, too.
Especially from a guy.
From other girls.
Why not from a guy? If a guy noticed you've lost weight.
Just say you look really good and leave it at that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just leave it at that.
Or what if you said, damn, girl, where'd that ass go? Is that not a good one? No. Okay.
And don't ask if they're pregnant or say something about them being pregnant. That can be really bad.
Even if I know a girl's pregnant, I don't make a comment on it unless she says something first. Even if I know it, there's no question she's pregnant. She's, got a baby book or I don't know, whatever. You know she's pregnant. You never say anything about it.
Somebody went up to my wife at her work and said, oh, are you pregnant? And she said, yeah. Oh, I wasn't sure. Oh. She was like 7 months pregnant. Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Damn. Oh.
All right. That's all of the guyery.
Is that all the guyery? Well, good guyery this week.
Right on.
All right. Let's get out of here. Jimmy, you want to plug your shows a little bit? And
yeah, Tain't Funny.
Search it on.
Oh my God, I have to listen to that right now.
Yeah, I don't think you guys have ever mentioned it before, but yeah. That's
No,
cool.
we talk about Tain't Funny a lot. Tach's on there with you as well.
Yeah.
You, Tach, our last week's guest host, Eric.
Yeah.
And then some mysterious guy that never shows up in my studios, Johnny.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty good. That's,
he doesn't exist.
He's really just a sock puppet. He's not. No.
He's with my sister.
Oh, both, unshowable people or
Yes.
people that never show up to, the studios. Yes. So
Eric's
pop
funny.
Culture.
Eric's an enigma, man. He kind of sits there quiet, and all of a sudden he comes out with something. And you're just like,
He goes for the fucking jugular when he goes on
doesn't he?
jokes.
Yeah. He's cool.
So, Tain't Funny's pop culture, current media,
It's
news.
we try to cover
books.
all things media.
All
whatever,
things media is your
whatever
catch,
is
that's
media,
right.
whether it's a video game, a comic, but whatever it is, we try to cover it. So, I mean, we don't necessarily cover everything, but we cover things that interest us.
That's cool. No, that's very cool.
Tach's more into music. I'm more into like theater.
And MMA.
John
The last
and-
several of them have been MMA related for
yeah,
you.
exactly. MMA, UFC 200, man, that was horrible.
Yeah,
I don't know if
heard
you watch it. That sucked.
only bits and pieces. Yeah,
I wasn't impressed. Yeah,
that sucks. That really sucks. And they just sold it for $4 billion or something like that.
And they're keeping Dana White. He's
As a face, a figurehead.
yeah.
Huh.
Vanna White. I love Vanna White.
That's awesome. She's gonna go for the
Dana.
fighters and go like this.
Oh, she'd probably do a better job than him. He is a hell of a marketer, though. I'll give him that. Like him or not, he is a hell of a marketer.
The Fertitta brothers are out.
What's that?
The Fertitta Brothers.
The Fajita Brothers.
Is that a Tijuana Flat special? Fajita Brothers?
That's the guy that runs the comedy thing, the pizza place down in Melbourne.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's Burrito. Never mind.
Burrito.
Ray Burrito, yes.
And the
He listens to all these shows, by the way.
Yeah.
He listens to all of them. Oh, that's funny. All right, so check out Taint Funny on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music Podcast app now as well. They're out there all over the place, just like us. Same places you find this show, you'll find theirs. They release weekly as well, usually weekly. Whenever Tach gets around to doing it.
I'm not talking to girls. But
He doesn't have his phone preoccupied with the dating life. If you want to get engaged in our show, hit us up at show@livingpodcariously.com. Send us a message on Facebook, facebook.com/livingpodcariously. Or Tach runs our Twitter. Hit him up on Twitter. That is @podcarious. That's it. That's all I got this week. You guys got anything else?
I don't believe so, no.
All right, let's get out of here. Well, thanks for listening. My name's Adam.
I'm Andrea Joy.
And our special guest?
I'm Jimmy.
All right, thanks for listening, guys. Have a good week.